Welcome back to the Daily High on this fantastic Thursday. Tone, how are you, mate? You must be loving the charts right now.
Good, good. Yeah, I can't wait to go and take a look at the charts. It's
Yeah,
been
me too.
been an amazing 24 hours. People are like really, really happy, but the charts will tell us whether we should be.
I'm so sorry I missed yesterday's show. I brought all my equipment with me and I was excited to do a country stream, but the internet just did not comply at all. I was out in the middle of the sticks and yeah, so but yesterday it wouldn't have mattered because the time we do the show at 11 p.m. Australia my time, there was nothing happening in the charts. So I actually messaged Tony and said, "There's nothing happening. We're not missing anything." And then when I woke up in the morning, I was like, "Oh, hello, hello. This trade's going to look interesting." Now, as we go into the trade, our competition, as you know, Tone had a much higher starting balance than me. I started from like 830 was my starting balance, but I used 5x leverage. And what was your leverage? Two or one?
My average was only two, so I'm pretty sure you definitely won that trade.
I
But
think so. Yeah.
let's go and take a look.
Let's go look. All right. I'll go to my screen share because I disabled the bloody screen share,
Oh,
Tone.
wait, wait. There you go. There you go.
Got to
You're
get the
good.
routine going again. We missed one day. All right.
Mhm.
See, I reckon I did win, but it'll be interesting to see. Oh, the price has pulled back slightly. Let's have a look. All right. As I
Oh,
open it
you
up,
did. No, you did. You did. You did. If
180,
I if I
one,
had like
yeah.
4x leverage, I would have won, but you
Yeah,
definitely.
you would have done. All right. So I'm going to adjust. We'll call it 190. Okay.
190, yeah.
All right. All right. All right. All right.
Hey, are you back
One.
over 1,000 now?
Yeah, should be close. Yeah. Yeah.
Nine,
All right.
1,020,
Nine.
I think.
Yeah, it's money. That's it. Spot on.
1,020.
All right. I'll stop screen share. Ah, good. Oh, wait. I'll go to the board while we're here.
Yeah,
Yes.
go to the board. Right, so we're tied again.
Ooh, it's back to side.
All right,
This
here's mine.
this show will never end unless one of us liquidates, I reckon.
So here's mine. So I'm up 110.
Mm,
Oh, I think it was just like 120 a minute ago. I think we just dropped like 5 minutes ago. Yeah, we're like
yeah.
dropping quick now.
One
Okay.
one one
So
twenty.
yeah, I'm gonna yeah, it was literally just dropping the last
Yeah,
five
yeah, yeah,
minutes
yeah, yeah.
after he
Yeah.
looked. I thought I saw 120. All
Yeah.
right, so I'm
Call
at
it 120.
120.
Yep.
So I'm gonna adjust my PNL now. I'm up 120, so I'm at 350.
50.
So my PNL's creeping up. I'm not
Sure
moving up
is.
the charts much, but my PNL's creeping up.
Yeah, good trade. Good
All
trade.
right.
Should we be worried about this dip tone? What's happening? It's all gone.
Well, yeah, let's talk about that. So should I just start with my charts?
Go. No more wasting time.
Okay, so here's the good news. This week is looking to close at a new weekly swing high, which is incredibly bullish. And then next week would give us a green star candle. So I think we are on our way to new highs, which I expect to be in the low 50,000 to mid 50,000 range. So let's say my low end of the range is say 52,000, and my high end of the range is this, 78% Fibonacci line, which I don't generally care for, but it is at the top. It's about 58. So I'm gonna go ahead and put a little box here. Actually, I don't have the square on. There got to be a square here somewhere, right? There you go,
Rectangle. Top.
rectangle right
Yeah.
there. And I think that sometime before the halving, sometime March, early April, at some point, we're gonna reach this area right in here between 52. I guess it's kind of wide, maybe even between 53. Let's be super optimistic. Between 53 right there. I think we're going to
Mm.
get into this box here, okay? And from there, we're going to significantly pull back. I'm going to stick this arrow in here, okay? But that's the weekly scale, and hopefully it comes on another MRI top, and then it's going to be nice and clean like this number 2 versus something like number 1, because this is a lot easier to trade than this one, right? It was turning into a reversal candle, so it's obvious what to do.
Hey Tone,
Allocation,
how close would the MRI top be to the halving?
very close.
If it was consecutive green candles or it
Very
didn't
close.
break the count?
Uh, it's a good question of when the halving is. I haven't looked at the clock in a while. Let me just Google it real quick. Bitcoin halving clock. I'm just doing a different monitor. I just want to see what the estimates are, because mining has slowed down a bit because of the so some miners had like shut down for the electric grid stuff. So the estimate on mining is mid to late April. I really thought the halving would be like in late March, but it is staying with mid to late April. So I'm gonna
Pretty
just grab a
close.
vertical line here. Not sure what my vertical line is. Trend line, yeah, vertical line, and I'm gonna stick that in, let's say, the week of April 22nd. I'll be optimistic. The week of April 15th. Okay.
Right.
So there's our vertical line. And there's too much green on this chart, so we're gonna make it maybe purple or something.
Orange.
Oh, we can make it orange. It's a good call. Orange, make it, small dashed lines. There it is. Okay, that's our halving line. So, so I'm actually gonna shorten the box here like that. And how close to the halving will we get? So if this is week 1, so we go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Mm-hmm.
Bam.
Mm-hmm.
The week of April 1st. So we're going to be super close. We're going to
Close.
be 1 to 2 weeks away if we continue going higher and pump into the halving. We will be within 1 to 2 candles of the halving. So I'm really hoping that the halving comes sooner than later. And we can also, delay, right? So if we break the count, no, but these are going to be going higher. So if we break the count, we're going to end up going way later, because we're good for the next like 3 or 4 candles, and then we may flip the count. So yeah. So yeah, the halving will come right before the halving, the MRI will come right before the halving, which is kind of great if you're a trader and you're trying to time the markets.
That's
Okay,
really good stuff.
allocation chart, beautiful. You can see the moving averages have crossed over. So the 100% bullish position has been justified, and this looks great. Also, a candle is going to close at a new high. The daily chart is where things are getting interesting. So I like the green star candle, but what I don't like is the candle before it was super overextended. And we're already pumping early today. So this green star candle is happening a bit on an extension. And I don't like to chase. So I'm very, very happy. I'm already fully invested in Bitcoin in my trading positions. Because if I wasn't, this would be a really rough time for me to go long. So had there been an MRI trading bot, hopefully that MRI trading bot, and eventually there will be an MRI trading bot, hopefully in a few months, it would be long as of the MRI buy, because the other time to go long off the MRI trading bot is on a green star candle. But if this has not actually exited at any point, which it probably would not have, but had it exited somewhere over here on a stop loss, this trade can get me in a little bit of trouble, because this is not where I want to buy Bitcoin. Like sometimes people ask me this question. It's like, Tone, I missed the dip and I didn't buy it here, and then I didn't buy it off consolidation. And now what do? I'm stuck. And my answer is, I don't know what to do now. Okay. It happens so often. I don't know how often it happens to you, but there are times in the market where you say, shit, I missed my buying opportunity, and I don't like to chase because, in my experience, when you chase, bad things happen. So I think we have gone up a little too far, a little too fast when you look at daily charts or sub-daily charts. So I do think that even though the MRI is bullish across all time frames, and if you have a longer term time horizon like weeks or months, this is a beautiful time to buy. But if you're a short-term trader that likes to swing trade, I don't know if this is the best time to buy right now. So it makes it a very, very tricky. And I'm gonna hand it off to you on that weird note.
Yeah, no, that was awesome time. And just in reference to people messaging you, "Nick, should I buy? Should I buy?" And the answer was, yeah, you should have bought yesterday. I
Yeah,
only get I from non-traders, from non-degenerates like myself. The only people that ask me is they're asking me at exactly the time when it's pumping. It's already like the moves happened. No one's asking me any other time. It's like that's not when the normies will come out. Um, the MRI has been just on point here because not only did that you call the bottom, you call the top prior to the bottom, and then even now, like yes, the bot, a theoretical bot, or if someone's looking at the conditions now, that yes, it has already had that big pump on the daily time frame, so you missed the move, and now it's saying the green star candle. But anyone with the MRI, maybe you don't advocate for this, but I certainly do it. I'm watching the MRI like I would watch a clock, and I front run it every time. Do you know what I mean? Like I use it in conjunction with alpha. We use it in conjunction with just just simple price movement. And I'll show you what I'm talking about now. Like we were talking about on the weekly time frame. We were talking about this throughout all this week and possibly last week as well, as I turned float off for a second, that this week we actually said like we don't want the first candle in the weekly, succession of MRI counts to be a massive big candle because that puts you in a funny spot next week when your green star candle comes in, but we're up here at 50, then you've missed the move. But we were watching this. We watched the MRI top come in. We watched a 1 to 4 candle pullback. The buy was on the daily time frame, and I've still got my blue line in, and I'll talk about that in a second. When we broke this, what, bull pennant? What do you, I hate, like I don't like to call out what the chart patterns are because I don't really care what they're
yeah,
called. And
it's a bull flag or a bull
yeah,
pennant. I mean, they're kind of similar, and yeah, it's actually it looks like a perfect bull flag, bull pennant. We
right.
never mentioned it. I just it didn't ring a bell
We
in my head
did.
till
We
now. I did
Well,
mention it.
maybe I don't know. I don't
I
know.
don't
Maybe I
remember
mentioned it
mentioning
somewhere
it,
else.
but yeah,
But
absolutely right. Yeah.
and so I just don't like to call out what the patterns are called because people who know way more about pattern structures will say, "Oh, actually, that's a bull flag reversal pennant, whatever. It's a break of a trend line, right?" So like,
Right.
it's obvious what it is without having to know the name of it. That the trade, this blue line is. I'm still in the same trade that we've been talking about. I entered a week ago tomorrow and sat through this. I think I entered the trade on this candle. It went under, it went above, it went under, went above. And in the last show we did on
And you were
Tuesday,
you were asking me when you should cut bait on the trade, and I said just hold it until it hits a stop loss. If your
yeah,
leverage isn't too high and you're not bleeding fees.
just to be clear, I was asking you for the sake of the
Yeah, no intention of exiting.
yeah. I just wanted like I thought it was a good question to ask. And if this did like well, I was uncomfortable underwater, and when especially like the day after the show when we were crashing throughout the show, and I was down 0.1%, 1% or something in the trade, I didn't really feel that good about it. Like my stop loss was pretty near to where we were, but no, I didn't close it. I didn't do anything, and was happily surprised when I woke up this morning. But looking at the chart pattern now, obviously, like that is the time I'm happy to enter, even though we were underwater. That was it. It's turned out to be a good trade. And for those of you who have been following along, I actually took the trade here as well. I took the trade here, closed it here and took, point one out, stayed out, got back in, did it again. So it's been a good little, segment of trading for old Matt. Yeah, we've gone through the weekly, we've gone through the daily. 4 hours, much the same. Like, yes, the wave is still red. So, we're getting nearer to the point where I'm flipping my bias. I still think that we've got some weeks ahead of us before we get through. We could pull back down, whatever. But every other position, I'm pretty much still locked and loaded in. I'm feeling really good. Feeling good about the trade. Feeling good about the positions. It's good all around. Have you seen the S&P 500, Tone? It's worth
Um,
mentioning.
yeah, that also pumped. All right, I guess I'll just take a screen share back. Let's go and take a look at the S&P. We'll take a look at it this morning in the pre-market. It pumped a lot yesterday, and I think it significantly helped
Sure.
Bitcoin's big rise yesterday. Now,
I think
Bitcoin,
I think it's been helping for the better part of a week, to be fair.
yeah, we're back to being somewhat correlated, other than Bitcoin having its own uh, momentum and its own speculative behavior over the whole ETF situation. So Bitcoin pumps right here into the announcement of the ETF. You can see the weekly MRI, and then it pulls back down while the S&P remained in consolidation mode. And then as the S&P broke out on January 19th, you can see Bitcoin is still going down on January 19th with its own devices, but then the S&P pump, I'm sure, assisted in reversing the fate of Bitcoin. And now they're pretty correlated once again, and looking good. So looking good. The weekly S&P is at a new all-time high. Gold remains, it's in consolidation, but the consolidation is at new highs. Gold is now consistently above 2,000. I'm starting to believe 2,000 is going to be the new floor. And sooner or later, at some point this year, I think gold's going to have a massive pump. I think it's like ripe for a liquidity crunch. And gold's going to rally to, say, 2,200, 2,300. And then it's going to establish like a low of 2,000, like the way it established, a low of 1,600 that lasted for like, since the pandemic for like 4 years. Can you believe it's been 4 years since the pandemic, man? I can't believe how fast time flies. I remember it like yesterday, and how like frustrated I was having stuck in an apartment for like 6 months. And I can't believe it's almost 4 years ago. It started in March of 2020.
Man, I lived in Victoria, Australia that time, where, as far as I know, we had the worst lockdowns anywhere in the world. So I haven't forgotten it that much. Trust me. I'm still trying to get out. Mate, go back to the S&P 500 on the weekly time frame for a second, because we've just passed, I noticed the middle part of your channel there. Look at that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like,
Wowza.
so you got to be a little careful with this middle power channel, because this channel goes back so far.
Mm.
You can
It
put a
likes it
micro.
likes it likes getting over it.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, right, because this channel is so long, and if you put a microscope on this, and I made these lines as thick as possible, if you, put a microscope on this and you make this channel perfect, this line could be the middle line could be a lot higher or a lot lower.
Right.
Like a 1 degree difference on a 15-year time span is massive. So I wouldn't read too much into it, that we crossed that line. But in general, being in the upper half of this channel means one thing: we're probably going to rally significantly higher and then use that middle area as future support on a big pullback. So I've remained a huge bull on the S&P, and people keep telling me about the inverted yield curve and how every time the yield curve has ever been inverted, it was followed by a massive recession. And I said, sure, it's possible. The yield curve has now been inverted for like over a year. We're still rising, right? People are still waiting for that curve to uninvert. By the time that curve uninverts, it could be 2026. And by then, the S&P could be over 6,000. And yes, a recession could come, and the market can pull back from this area of 26,000. Sorry, 6,000. For a 20% correction back down to current prices. Yeah, I can see that. And then
Yeah,
from
but
there, we
but
go
but
higher again.
mate, those people who are calling for a full financial, the full stock market crash, they're going to be right once every decade or so,
Yeah,
and they
yeah,
hang
pretty
their
much.
they hang their hat on that. Just like you saying that they'll they're not going to be an ETF. You were only wrong once since you
Yeah.
started saying it 7 years ago.
Oh, longer, longer. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. No, 27. Yeah, 2017.
right.
When 2016,
Winklevoss.
2017 is when it started. Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, about 7 years. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
Eventually, I was going to be wrong, but it was good being right for
Yes.
7 years.
Right. Right. And just to add to that, I mean, like if there's going to be a full-blown stock market crash, unless it happens in one day, which it has done, I suppose, a couple of times like that. Um, the charts will tell you. There's no reason to think it now. Look at the price. Shut up. Come
Right.
on. Look-
Right. Again, like on a longer term scale, you don't need to exit up here. You can exit over here.
Right.
Right. And that's when that's also happened in Bitcoin. It's the same exact pattern here. I'll show you guys. So right here, would I have missed this top? Yeah, probably. I mean, it did have an extension B, but I am looking for the MRI tops instead. There was a monthly MRI top, but we did start going slightly higher the following month, but that's a no trade month. Yes, there were signs this could be the top of the S&P, but there's no reason to really exit the market. And then right here, beautiful MRI weekly buy off the MRI support. And you think that, hey, we got a shot at going to new highs. And right around here, when these moving averages are crossing over and you're starting to approach these lows again, this is when you realize somewhere on this candle, on the April 18th candle, you realize that, hey, we have a lower high. And this candle, which I'm surprised is not actually a star candle, but I think I have the stars turned off here. Let's see if this is a red star candle. Because
are you on logarithmic charts as well for this?
probably I kind of default to logarithmic, but I don't think that matters at all. It's just a preference. I think I have the stars turned off. I do have the stars turned off. So I'm pretty sure there's going to be a red star here. I did make this indicator. So trend change close condition. First candle and extension prior candle. Bam, there it is. Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
You can see it right now. So on this red star candle, that's when you realize, shit, we're in trouble. And Bitcoin did exactly the same thing in 2017. So, I mean, that's the one that really stands out in my brain. If I go to the weekly chart and we use the go to button and we change this date to 17, and we head on over there, same exact thing. This is the weekly chart. I can set it to a daily chart because the S&P just moves slower. And if we look at a daily chart from that same time period of 2017,
Do you
probably
mean 2018?
2018, yeah. End of 2017. So let's go 10 here. Is going to be an identical pattern right here where we made a top and then we pulled back and then we started rising. And right here, you think you have a chance to challenge the highs, and then you reverse. And somewhere over here around this red star candle, you realize that it's going to go down and wipe out this low. So again, you don't have to call the top perfectly. You can get out right here.
I don't want to pump your tires too much, Tony, in one episode. People think you're paying me. But I was really lucky because I first heard about Bitcoin the late 2017, and I found you very, very early in the piece. And I stayed right out of the market throughout that whole period when all of my friends got in. And you saved me a lot, dude. It meant a lot
You
to
mean
me.
early 2018?
It's in the late 2017, I heard
Late
about Bitcoin,
2017, yeah.
but and then I found you in very, very early 2018, and you were bearish as balls. And yeah, and
Right, but
I
everyone started paying attention after I got this call right.
I
Like
remember
no,
watching that live. It's
right. Like
fantastic.
like like just look at the red star candles, right? No one paid attention when I went all out bearish on this red star candle. and then this red star candle, and then this red star candle. And then the most bearish I was in this entire move was down here in preparation for the crash off the triangle. And then somewhere over here around 3,000, that's when everyone started paying attention to my bearish calls. Not up here at 16,000, but down here at 3.
I mean,
And guys,
they were writing songs about you at that point before the
yeah.
crash there.
And I will almost always be bearish at the bottoms, and I will almost always be bullish at the tops. I mean, that's kind of you're going to be wrong eventually in a little bit, but in general, that's the idea. And man, it hurt me a lot when the breakout of the ascending triangle was taking place on an MRI cell. That hurt. And then right here, I become bullish again.
I remember.
All right.
Tyler too. Took Tyler a long time to accept that.
Yeah. Yeah, because of his hyperwave. That's right.
That's right.
All
Awesome,
right.
Tone.
I
Great
think
show.
it's straight. I think it's straight time.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Crack on.
All right. How we doing this? Am I going to do it live on camera while you do it off camera?
Either way, don't care. Don't care.
Okay.
It's the same thing.
So I'm going to open float. This
too.
is going to be interesting. I'm going to open float.
Can I have a second to review? I don't even know what I'm going to do.
Yeah. Let's identify the current price. 44.7. Let's say
All
it's 44,696. So let's say 44,700. And go ahead and like review your chart. I'm looking at a 5-minute chart. That's not very useful.
Yeah, I just went to 15.
Let me do this. This is the hourly chart. I'm going to open float back up. The price is 44,700. It's already 708, but that's okay. It was at 744.
Walk people through what you're seeing. They'd love to know, I'm sure.
I need to wait until you have entered your leverage and
yeah.
And then I'm going to walk people through what I'm thinking.
All right, I'm ready. I'm almost ready. Basically ready.
Let me know when you're ready.
How long you got? So it's not interesting for the viewers. Fuck it. I don't know. So I don't know, to be honest. But I'm just gonna go
you're ready.
44,700.
It's already 7:15, so we can change it to 7:15, up to you.
Whatever. 44,17. Perfect.
44,17. 44,715.
You just gave away you just gave
Fine,
away
44.7. Doesn't matter. Depends how long you were thinking.
No. I know what you're gonna do now because you've I know exactly what you're gonna do. Can I guess? I'm back on screen now. I'm watching you. You're going short.
I am going short.
You tilted your hand when you argued over 15
I am
bucks.
going short, but now I'm deciding whether I should use a leverage of 1 to go no leverage or a leverage of 2. I'm gonna go short on a leverage of 1. So I made money. I increased my capital. And now I think we are going to pull back to the mean over the next 24 hours. We have to do a show tomorrow, by the way, because I don't want to hold this trade through the weekend, right? So this is a 24-hour trade. And I'm not going to make the mistake I did last weekend. And therefore, I think we're going to pull back to the mean. I want to move my dinosaur up the scale. I am happy with my gains. I want to protect my 35% overall profit, and I'm gonna do that. Now, what's your trade?
All right. I am going 3x long.
All right.
3x long, and I don't feel good about it. But I mean I don't want to preach that this is how I trade, because that's a coin flip for me. I don't know. And I saw the same thing you saw. We've gone up so far. A few of the things that I look at on the shorter time frames were pulling back, but the longer term, the higher time frames were mid-range MRI counts. I'm sticking with the long side.
All right. I'm tilting my hand for tomorrow. It's very likely I'm gonna go long over the weekend. Unless we crash. Like if we come back here tomorrow morning and you're sitting at like a 700 PNL, I'm probably gonna go with the short over the weekend, right? Like if we crash big time and and I increase my PNL to over like 1500 or something, I'm probably gonna stick with the short trade. But other than
Mate,
that, if we
you
consolidate here,
if
I'm gonna go long over the weekend.
if I get my P&L under 50% down to 500, you might as well just 1x leverage for the rest of the competition because I'm gonna have to start juicing this thing to catch up. So that's great.
Man, but it would have been, oh man, but like if let me go one last thing.
Yeah.
If the timing of the show would have worked out a little bit differently,
Hmm.
if let me go to a 1 hour chart, right? If the timing of this show, if let's say we did a show yesterday at like 1 p.m. ish, right around here as we were breaking this area,
I don't want to
uh,
hear this. This
yes,
is
that's a 1 hour MRI top, but I might have gone like 10, 15x leverage. Like people have no idea how bullish I get at in these areas. I mean, yes, I'm staring at
yeah.
a 1 hour MRI top, and that might have influenced my decision a little. Hopefully, maybe I wouldn't have been looking at the 1 hour chart at all. If I had been looking at, say, the 4 hour chart, where we're sitting right here, just at the break of this blue line, man, I would have been like, I would
Yeah.
have got like 10 to 20x long here. But like these are my absolute favorite trades.
Yeah,
Not
yeah, yeah, me
only
too.
are you confident of this ascending triangle breakout, you have a very clean, predefined stop loss at 4,300. You're breaking 23.5. Your losses are very, very limited, and the potential of this going up is so good. So
I'm
it's
not.
all
I'm
about
not
the
a. I'm
timing.
not. I'm not a Bollinger Band guy. No, I'm not disrespect them, but I just don't use them. But they on the 4 hour time frame and that they would have contracted very tightly. Like it's like this. We actually had the thumbnail for yesterday's show was called Bitcoin coiling up because it was coiling up. I just love the final thing to note as I think about it. The pre-market S&P was down slightly, and I bet if you look at it now, it's raising as well. That's what I thought about this Bitcoin trade. I thought that if we open lower on a bull run big bull spike on the S&P, I think it's a good sign for Bitcoin. Awesome.
I mean, look, we are
Awesome.
consolidating near the top, so the trade is still slightly in your favor. But I think when we come back tomorrow, I don't think I'm going to be up much in PNL, but I think I am confident about my direction. That's why
Let's wind the show
that's
up.
why there's no leverage.
Awesome.
All right,
Another
man.
great show. We'll wind it up.
We'll let you close us out.
Thanks, man. Thank you so much for watching the show. I've really enjoyed being back. I forgot how to laugh yesterday, so that's really great. Please visit tonevays.com. Please visit alphanumetrics.com. Please use the affiliate links in the description below. Please like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. What's the word? Like and share with your friends. Sorry.
Like, share, and subscribe.
I always get tongue-tied when I try and say that. I don't know why. It must be an Aussie thing. Thank you guys. Thank you for watching. Tomorrow's show is going to be